Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a bit different, really exciting. We're taking a snapshot, like a real-time look at Chiang Mai, Thailand, pulling insights straight from the news over the last 12 hours or so, August 11th, 2025. Yeah, and our sources are, well, they're a mix: Bangkok Post, Chiang Mai City Life, Nation Thailand, a few others too. So it gives us a really kind of on-the-ground view. Our goal here is to cut through the noise, find the important bits, and help you get up to speed quickly on this, well, this vibrant place. You might find some surprising connections.
Exactly. And that's the interesting part, isn't it? How things that seem separate, maybe a weather report, an economic indicator, even a new shop opening, how they actually link together. It paints a picture of a city that's constantly moving, adapting. We want to get beyond just what's happening to maybe understand why it matters for Chiang Mai.
Okay, let's dive in. First off, the immediate impact of nature. That kind of sets the scene. There's been a landslide in Huai National Park. Bangkok Post says the Doi Kyu Lum viewpoint and some lodges nearby are actually closed now until mid-September for safety checks and repairs. That's a pretty popular spot, right?
Oh, absolutely. A key tourist viewpoint. And, this connects directly to the bigger weather picture. Chiang Mai City Life just put out a new severe weather warning. It's for the northern provinces, Chiang Mai included. They're saying brace for more heavy rain, thunderstorms, even potentially dangerous waves in some areas. It highlights this ongoing need for, well, preparedness.
And it's not just current events, is it? There are these lingering effects, too. Things like earthquake damage, sources City Life, Facebook, Bangkok Post, others still mention visible cracks, especially in some of the older buildings around the city. It's not just superficial damage. It points to ongoing structural worries.
Right. And that raises a really interesting point about balancing, history and safety. These old buildings are part of Chiang Mai's charm, but those cracks are a constant reminder of past events. The tough decision for the city. How much do you invest in fixing up older places versus building new, maybe more resistant structures?
Yeah.
And how do you do that without losing the city's character?
So it's a constant adaptation.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which brings us to what they're doing right now. Infrastructure efforts. There's large-scale dredging happening along the Ping River. Cleanup work, too. Bangkok Post, City Life, Asia Now have all reported on this. They're essentially widening and deepening the river channel.
Ah, okay. So that's directly linked to the rain warnings.
Exactly. With the monsoon season, heavy rains are always a possibility. This dredging is not just routine maintenance. It's a strategic move. Trying to reduce the risk of flooding in the city center, it's proactive.
Okay, so the city's dealing with nature, shoring up its infrastructure.
Yeah.
What about the economy? Let's shift gears there. We're seeing some interesting things. The Thai baht, for instance, it's getting stronger. Bangkok Post mentioned this is partly due to easing global trade tensions, maybe some renewed foreign investor interest. Though, important note, markets were actually closed on the 11th for a holiday.
Yeah. The stronger baht is, well, it's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you look at tourism. Because while the overall economy might show positive signs, Nation Thailand is reporting that the recovery in tourism from China is still quite slow. Sluggish, actually.
Oh, really? China's a huge market for them.
It is. And it's slow enough that the Tourism Authority of Thailand, the TAT, they've had to push back their full recovery target. Now they're looking at 2026. It makes you wonder why it's so slow. Is it, lingering travel uncertainty, flight availability, the cost? Because stronger baht also makes Thailand more expensive for visitors.
Right, so you've got a stronger currency, which sounds good maybe nationally, but it makes holidays pricier just as a key tourist group isn't really coming back in full force yet. How does that play out specifically for businesses in Chiang Mai?
Well, it likely means local businesses, especially the ones heavily reliant on international tourists, are facing a longer squeeze. They probably can't just rely on the sheer number of visitors like they used to. It might push them to, say, target tourists who spend more, or maybe focus more on domestic travelers or even long-stay expats. It could force a rethink of the whole tourism model there.
Interesting dynamic. And while these big economic forces are swirling, city life goes on. New things are popping up too. Like Chiang Mai City Life reported on the grand opening of something called 333 Shooting Tai Fei. It's a certified shooting range right in the city. Kind of unexpected for Chiang Mai, maybe.
It definitely adds a different flavor to the usual tourist or leisure options. Its location, right in the city heart, suggests it might be aiming at residents, expats, maybe tourists looking for, well, something different. It broadens the idea of what you can do there.
Yeah, diversification.
And on a totally different note, but also from city life, there's the launch of the Seven Senses Factory out in Hangdong. That sounds more focused on cultural and creative experiences. So you see this spectrum emerging from something quite intense, like a shooting range, to something more artistic.
Shows the city isn't static.
Not at all. It's evolving.
And then there's something for the local connoisseurs, it seems. City Life also mentioned a wine tasting event at Le Crystal restaurant that's apparently quite popular this month.
Right. See, things like that. Alongside the new factory and the shooting range, it suggests a growing, maybe maturing, local scene. It's not just about catering to short-term tourists anymore. It points towards services for residents, maybe longer-term expats, people with different tastes developing within the city itself.
And finally, just a quick note on community life.
Yes, City Life had a brief report on police patrols near the Ping Riverfront spaces, just checking on youth safety, making sure the public areas are okay. And apparently, everything was fine, no issues found. Which is good news. Just a small sign of keeping the community spaces safe.
So there we have it. It's quite a journey in just 12 hours of news, isn't it? From landslides and weather warnings to infrastructure work on the river, a strengthening bet versus slow tourism, and then these new spots opening up, plus community policing. It really shows how all these different threads weave together to make the fabric of the city right now. Dynamic, definitely adaptable.
It absolutely does. And it leaves us, and you, the listener, with something to think about, perhaps. How do all these pieces, the environmental pressures, the economic shifts, the new leisure options, the focus on safety, how do they all interact? What does this snapshot of Chiang Mai tell us about how cities generally cope and change in our interconnected world? It's fascinating to see resilience in action, isn't it? What connections really stood out to you as you listened? Something to mull over.